around, we're not going to show them pictures of our guns. We're not. We're going to show them our guns and the little pieces of lead that come out of it. But anyway, they're trying to, in the minds of all these children, they're trying to criminalize. They're trying to take children who have any leaning toward weapons whatsoever and isolate them and scare the daylights out of every other child in that school. They take this kid, hang him up by a noose in front of the school because he had a picture of a gun on his cell phone that he showed to somebody else, and they're sending a message to everybody else in the school: guns are evil. Get the drift? That's what they're doing. I am becoming more and more adamant every day against the public education system, like I needed more to be angry about with public education. I am becoming more and more and more adamant against the government-run public education system. Now, I understand that not every school is the same. I understand that. But I'm telling you, it is an increasing thing where schools, one after another, they accuse us of brainwashing. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I tell people it's not right for a man to be walking around with a dress on. That's normal. That's not brainwashing. That's common sense. The schools are the ones telling everybody it's normal. In fact, it's actually better for you if you're a boy to walk around with a dress on. You'll feel better about yourself. That's brainwashing. It's not brainwashing to tell people that they have a right to defend themselves. That's not brainwashing. That's common sense. It's brainwashing when a child shows a picture of a gun or eats a Pop-Tart. Eats a Pop-Tart. It makes it look like a gun in the eyes of a teacher. It's brainwashing. That's brainwashing right there. And it's not going to get better. It is absolutely not going to get better. Here's another student suspended for having a Swiss Army knife. Listen to this. I get all choked up about this. He had a Swiss Army knife, not on campus, not at school, a school camping trip. Had a Swiss Army knife and a school camping trip. I'm waiting for the Boy Scouts to follow suit in this direction. That's what I'm waiting for. You already have the Boy Scouts, and I'll tell you this. If you put your son in Boy Scouts or your daughter in Girl Scouts, you are inviting them to be felt up or otherwise molested by one of their leaders, because now both groups have openly and are openly endorsing homosexuals to be scout leaders, or Girl Scout, Boy Scouts, or whatever. They're even, what was it we talked about here a while back, the Girl Scouts are allowing a little boy who dresses up like a girl to be a Girl Scout. I wouldn't do it. I would not put my kid in that. Then you have a school, according to Daily Caller report on Friday, in Cupertino, California, a fifth-grade student at Garden Gate Elementary School was suspended as well as threatened with expulsion from school because he brought a small-size Swiss Army knife with him when he attended a camping trip with a science study focus. The annual school event, which involves spending a week at Marin Headlands north of San Francisco, took place several weeks ago. The Swiss Army knife, blah, blah, blah. It's the blade that got Brandon, the 10-year-old, in trouble. According to Brandon's father, he received a call from the school who informed him that he had come to the camp to take his son home because he had a weapon. Furthermore, he was told that his son needed to be suspended or possibly expelled. Absolutely ridiculous. By the way, if I were you, I don't know that I would even send my son or my daughter on any kind of overnight trip. I mean, it is unbelievably dangerous in this world today for your children. If you are a decent father and mother, and you're trying to raise your children in an appropriate way, training them against the evils of this world, not completely distancing them, not shielding them from everything under the sun, so that when they finally walk out of the house, they go, oh! But you train them. You show them the evil of this world, and you train them to deal with it. But then when you send your kid down to the neighbor's house for an overnight, you don't know who those people are. You don't know them. Oh, they're neighbors. You don't know who they are. You send them on an overnight school trip, overnight scouting trip. You don't know who those people are. You don't know who's watching, literally, watching your son or watching your daughter. You don't know who that is. This is a nasty, dangerous world. It's getting worse. Co-ed bathroom bill passes state assembly. Assembly Bill 1266 passed out of the assembly floor on a party line vote this morning. Forces all California schools to allow students to participate in sex-segregated school programs, activities, and facilities consistent with his or her gender identity. Not their actual gender, but how they see themselves. This bill allows children of any gender to participate on any sports team and enter into locker rooms, showers, and bathrooms of their choice based on that student's private sense of their own gender, regardless of their biological gender at birth, said Karen England, Executive Director of Capital Resource Institute. Absolutely sickening. So basically what it is that your girls are going to be in a school bathroom in California, and a boy's going to walk in. He's going to walk in to the same bathroom that your girls are in, and they can't do... You know what? I'm telling you, it's rape is what it is. It may not be the actual offense, but a girl's room and a boy's room are to be separate. They're to be divided, and it's common sense. It's not brainwashing. It's common sense. I don't go... I remember... When I was in Bible college, I was at Hillsdale College, Moore, Oklahoma. Yay, Moore, Oklahoma. I did like it out there. But anyway, I got a job my second year helping the janitorial staff, just an on-campus job. And I remember the first time, and this was at the end of the day, and all the classes had dismissed, the library was still open. I remember at the end of the day, I was supposed to clean the classrooms, and I was supposed to go clean the bathrooms. I cleaned the guy's bathroom. No problem whatsoever. And then I stood there at that girl's bathroom door going, how am I going to get in there? There's no way in the world I'm going in there. And I finally went down to get Nancy Fogerson, who was the school librarian. And she was a real nice lady. I said, Nancy, can you do me a favor? She said, what's that, Mike? I said, I got to clean the girl's bathroom. I don't want to go in there. I said, would you go make sure there's nobody in there? Yeah, she was nice about it. She went and knocked on the door. Anybody in here? No? Okay. And she said, Mike, maybe in the future, all you got to do is just knock and just say, hey, got to clean up in here. I didn't even want to do that. And I walked it for the first time in my life. I'm in a girl's bathroom. No kidding. I'm in a girl's bathroom, and I'm just going, what is that? Okay? I mean, really, that's how it was. It's common sense. Now you're in California. Now your daughters are going to be in a public school, and they're going to be in the bathroom, and a boy's going to walk in, and they can't say anything about it. Nothing. Because the little boy sees himself as a girl. So he can go in there and do whatever he wants to do. He can go in there and strip, and none of those girls can do, say, comment, or anything about it. Not at all. We are living in such a dangerous, dangerous world for our children. I don't blame people anymore for wanting to find 100 acres of farmland out in Montana and be self-sufficient and not ever get around anybody else ever again. I don't blame you for it. I absolutely don't blame you for it. Let's see here. What else is going on here? Where's all my news articles? Michelle sends me a bunch of stuff. Immigration reform bill hides creation of national biometric database. We should have figured that. They've been working on that one for years. Try to get it into healthcare law. They didn't make it in healthcare law. Going to get it in the immigration reform bill. Somebody on some side is going to cave in, and they're going to be in there with some kind of national biometric DNA database. It's what it is. And I've said this before, and I can't remember when, but remember they have the ability now to scan someone's DNA and within a day know who it is. I mean, it used to take weeks. I mean, it used to take a long time for them to go through someone's DNA and figure everything out. Now they can do it in a day. And so at some point, remember, the false prophet causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. I believe, according to Daniel chapter 2 and other places, I believe that is associated with the alteration of the human genome. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. So it's going to come to a day when those who are in government official places anywhere in the world can, by looking at you or scanning you or using your ID, tell whether you are or you aren't. In other words, whether you have been augmented, your DNA has been mingled with the Iron Kingdom, or you have not done that. That's where this is leading. That's where this is going. That's where this is headed. Got a family wanting to move down to Missouri because Minnesota passed a law that said we're going to let guys kiss each other on the mouth and put a ring on their finger. Right now, Missouri, I'm kind of proud of my state. I have to be honest with you. It's not heaven by any stretch of the imagination. But we are in heaven's backyard, maybe, for a little while. Missouri legislature bans the United Nations Agenda 21. With a veto-proof majority, the Missouri legislature approved a popular bill protecting private property and due process rights by banning a deeply controversial United Nations sustainability scheme known as UN Agenda 21. The legislation now heads to Democrat Governor Jay Nixon. Now, Jay Nixon comes from a town about 8 miles south of here called DeSoto, Missouri. It was actually named after Ferdinand de Soto, who was one of these Spanish explorers. And at one time, DeSoto, Missouri was, between the census years, I think during the 80s, DeSoto, Missouri was the population center of the United States. And that's where the governor comes from. And folks in our area, Jefferson County, while they may be Democrat because a lot of them worked in unions up in St. Louis, as far as common sense morality, they're fairly conservative. They believe in gun rights because they all shoot squirrels and shoot turkeys and deers and everything else. I mean, that's what we do in this county. We just shoot stuff. And so Jay Nixon says he's a pro-gun Democrat. Well, let's just see how far up